Hello YouTubers, my name is Adam. Um, Today I'm creating a brand new YouTube channel and I've got a brand new mic in front of me, a very cheap one, but a microphone nonetheless. I apologize in advance for having the hiccups because I've just had two consecutive glasses of Coke and my reflux can't handle it very well, so if there's like intermediate pauses between what I'm saying, you'll know why. You'll know why. I'm doing the courtesy of pausing. Um, the purpose of this channel, I'm not really sure yet what direction I'm going to go in. I'm just kind of babbling on as we go. I remember when I was a kid, I used to have I'm not sure what it was. It was the type of like ham radio, but it wasn't ham radio. It was an old recorder radio where you could record yourself on cassette player. I remember my sister and I would spend hours playing on it, just talking about pointless shit, and then playing it back or leaving us each other messages. And so when I was in the electronics store today and I saw this $15 mic, those fond memories of it came back, and I thought, you know what? I don't like listening to the sound of my own voice, but there might be some YouTubers in the billions out there that might. And if that's what gets you off at night, good for you. Good for me. Good for you. Today I'm just going to look over pretty much three news stories that are circulating this week in the world around us. Um, I've become very disheartened with news lately because, not lately, I mean like the last 10 years, just for the direction it's gone away from world affairs and more to pointless domestic issues like cat parades and dog shows and annoying weathermen who talk for half an hour about shit. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. I've just gone to World News, and today's the 10th of June 2016. The first thing that's come up is I'm with her. Barack Obama endorses Hillary Clinton for president. That's no surprise there. Apparently that's newsworthy, but I'm not American myself, but he didn't really have much of a choice between her or Donald Trump, did he? Especially considering the history of Donald Trump and Barack Obama, and the fact they're standing on both the Republican and Democrat side. And I could never actually see Barack Obama actually supporting Bernie Sanders. Seem a bit polar opposites in a lot of things, just from what I've seen. As I try and keep up with American politics where I can, but where I am, it's probably a lot less shown than what would be over in the States. But I still try and keep. I actually don't mind politics. I try and keep up, somewhat up. I've done a few of those. What do they call like the quizzes where you find out like where you stand politically. There's that Coke. Where you stand politically, and generally over the years I've become quite centre. I used to be. Um, I mean, when you're younger, most people would have scored far left. I used to be pretty far right actually, and I've moved into the centre as the years have gone by, and I've realised that extreme parties on both sides don't really benefit for the greater good. You've got to be pretty moderate in your approach to things because there's going to be, there's two sides of a coin. There's going to always be two sides of an argument, and it's best to stay in the middle and try and work out the best solution for both. That's my theory anyway. I've just gone on a tangent about one news story, but that's the purpose of this YouTube channel. A second story I'm looking at. Pope to visit Auschwitz during a Poland trip. Pope Francis will follow in the footsteps of two of his predecessors when he visits the Nazi death camp at Auschwitz-Birkenau in July. Okay. I think every pope since World. I suppose there's only been three popes since World War II, hasn't there? Um, seems like something they would do regardless. Anywhere where war, famine, or genocide takes place, you'd kind of expect a pope to pay a visit, pay their respects there, even if they're not predominantly Christian. That doesn't matter. Popes are meant to be idolized, and that's good. Good for him. I haven't been to Auschwitz myself. Um, I've visited Dachau before, and if you ever do get a chance to go, it's a somber experience, but it's well worth um, paying your respects to history because it really gives an insight, especially on the fact that it actually wasn't that long ago that these brutal acts of violence actually occurred. So if you ever do get a chance to go to Poland, Germany, um, around there, definitely, not definitely, but try and make it part of your holiday experience. I mean, it's it is what you would expect. Like, I get really angry when I see people smiling for selfies and stuff at these like Jewish death camps, Nazi death camps, and pulling faces. It irks me to think that there's stupidity out there like that, but there is. So what can you do? But no, I would definitely go back. My missus wants to go and to see Europe again, so that would be on our itinerary. Um, I might even run into the Pope myself. Third story today. A seagull turns orange after falling into a vat of curry in Wales. Bright orange and smelling amazing, a British seagull survives a stint in a commercial vat of chicken tikka. Move over, Spice Girls, a spice gull is stealing the limelight. Well, this looks like the story we're going to focus on today because this is that kind of shit I talk about. These are interesting stories, though. I actually don't mind occasionally reading these stories. Spice Girl people stealing the limelight. The Guardian reports a seagull turned orange after it fell into a vat of chicken tikka masala while scavenging in a bin at a food factory in Wales on Monday. Now, when I think of Indian food, I also just naturally assume that just go to Wales because, that's where the best chicken tikka masala is. Vale Wildlife Hospital veterinary nurse Lucy Keller said staff at the England Centre had rescued the bird and cleaned him up. The seagull turned orange after taking a dip in a vat of curry. Now I'm looking at pictures now as I speak, and the bird actually looks quite fine and healthy. It's just covered in a nice, delicious, saucy coat of tikka masala, which is actually making me a bit hungry. Anyone fancy a curry? This poor chap did. Kells posted on her Facebook. And she's written a bit more, he or she. The bird will return to the wild after first going to an outside aviary to be waterproof his feathers. I can imagine there's like a type of farm or like an actual place exists where they re-waterproof seagulls. Don't know. I don't know anymore. I gotta admit, for my first YouTube channel, there isn't actually a lot of news going in the world. That's good. No news is good news. Islamists hit Ethiopian troops in Somalia. Both sides they have inflicted a heavy toll on their opponent in a clash between Islamists and an Ethiopian force in Somalia. This is the kind of, I mean, as sorry as I feel for them, this happens that regularly. You could almost make it like a running news story and just update the casualty number, which is a real shame considering of where we are in the 21st century, that you have savages like this that still roam the wilds. And I generally feel sorry. From what I've read and heard about and seen, the Somali government has actually tried to effectively set up a central um, presence, but it's primarily focused just around the major cities and Mogadishu in particular. And beyond that, they've got very little control, and Ethiopia is forever struggling with the repercussions of that, being Somalia's neighbor. Now, if any of you are political scientists on the East Cape of Africa region, please let me know, or let me know if I've said anything wrong, because you obviously know more than I do. And there's always someone out there on this big blue planet that knows more than you do on one particular subject. So I can only go off what I've seen and heard, but anyway, both sides say they've inflicted a heavy toll on their opponents in the clash between Islamists and an Ethiopian force in Somalia. Not sure if I've already said that, but Somalia's Al-Shabaab Islamist militant group has attacked a military base of Ethiopian soldiers serving with an African Union force, with both sides saying they had inflicted a heavy toll on their opponents. It was a huge blast. It destroyed the gate and parts of the base, Al-Shabaab's military operations spokesman Adbidis Abu Sabah told Reuters. Apologies once again for my lack of Arabic speaking talent. There's a fair bit of news actually on Somalia today. I haven't read any from my own country, so I'm going to do one story from my beautiful homeland before I conclude for the day. I've been recording now for about 12 minutes, 30 seconds, and you've been patiently listening to me for that long, so I appreciate it. And for Australia today, a lot of the news, once again, seems to be based around this upcoming election, which is in about 20 or so days, July 2nd. So all the news articles are pretty much Labour versus Liberal, the occasional message of the Greens, and the two major parties going at it, like they do every election. And just to comment on that, I personally think the Liberals will get back in. I've always voted Liberal, but as I was saying earlier, as the years have gone on, I've become more central, so I don't know if I'll always be that way naturally. I like the good bits from both sides, but that's a topic for another day. Thank you everyone for listening to my first YouTube video on my new microphone. I'm sorry if that my voice might sound echoey or bad. I don't have any audio or sound equipment to go with this, and I'm running without a script, and I've got very little idea of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of rambling. I've got in my mind some sort of direction for this channel, but I don't know yet. We'll see how we go. I always read the news. I especially love like the weird and wonderful and creepy and eerie style stories. Yeah, I would love to actually try and dig up some stories from around the web and read them at some point. But please let me know down in the comments below what I need to improve on, or if you did actually enjoy and you've lasted this long, please let me know what I can do, to improve, and I'll see if this is a worthwhile endeavor for me to embark on. I know large portions of the YouTube community are less than positive when it comes to comment sections, but I don't discourage this. I applaud it. I encourage you. I plead for you to leave a negative comment. I don't mind a few. I, you know, thousands and tens of thousands of negative feedback might make me feel like shit, but a dozen or so is good. I like it. I want this to be a really chilled, laid back YouTube channel, more in like a podcast audio style. Um, yeah, and we'll just see where we go. If I can aim between 10 to 20 minutes per episode, if I do end up doing an episode, that's a pretty good amount. Sometimes when you go to bed, or if you're on a train or in the car, sometimes I don't want to listen to podcasts. I'd rather listen to content that's on YouTube, but obviously you can't watch it at the same time. So I won't make it a very visual based YouTube channel. Almost it'll just be audio really. Um, go through some stories, chat about the world, love, life, dream it, be it, all that crap. um, as I said, it'll be a very laid back YouTube channel. Um, I'll have a beer while I talk. I encourage you to do the same. Laid back. It'll be pretty much unfiltered. You'll hear me eat and drink as we go along. Um, yeah. So I'd want you to sit back, relax, and do the same, especially if it's like Sunday afternoon. Better put the footy on. What's happening in the news today, but you don't feel like reading, or you don't feel like interpreting some news articles by yourself, and you feel like someone else interpreting for you. Well, that's what I'm doing. um, yeah, it'll be played pretty much like a podcast, really. Um, so on the visual side of things, I wouldn't be writing home about anything because there's not going to be much there. And I don't have any audio mixes or anything to help with the audio recording. I've only just learned how to use this cheap microphone, so we'll see how we go. Thank you once again, and please leave a comment. You don't have to like. I'm not one of those people that encourage likes and that. I'm happy just to see people comment to let me know how it went, good or bad. So if you like it, and if you don't like it, click that like button. Easy, easy. Thank you, everyone. I know I'm new to this, so I'll cut myself off now before I keep going. Thank you. Bye.